सब्सक्राइब करें, प्रेस करें बेल आइकॉन और पाएं मुंबई, नवी मुंबई एवं बॉलीवुड की ताजा तरीन खबरें।
Namaste, we're Indians. So, on behalf of Chairman TEXPROCIL Dr. K.V. Srinivasan and members of the Committee of Administration, it gives me immense pleasure in extending a warm welcome to all of you to the TEXPROCIL Export Awards 2018-2019. And indeed, warm welcome ki zarurat hai because Mumbai has become a little chilly. And we are extremely honored to have in our midst the Honorable Union Minister of Textiles, Women and Child Development, Government of India, Smriti Zubin Irani as our chief guest this evening. Kindly help me in welcoming her with a huge round of applause. Before we begin the function, as it is in our Indian tradition, let us invoke the Supreme by lighting the lamp.
Respected Honorable Minister of Textiles, Women and Child Development, Smriti Zubin Irani, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a matter of great pleasure for me to welcome all of you to the prestigious and coveted TEXPROCIL Awards Function. We're extremely fortunate to have today with us our Honorable Minister, Smriti Zubin Irani ji, as the chief guest. We thank you, Madam, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be with us today and supporting us year on year with your esteemed presence to encourage all of us in the Council. I would also like to welcome the Textile Commissioner, Sri Chakrabarti. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the award winners tonight who have emerged leaders in their respective lines of business during a challenging year. I am happy to note this year there are 43 companies receiving the award in various segments. 5 companies are receiving the award for the first time. Another feature this year in the awards is the introduction of the award for the highest employment generated during the last financial year by MSME companies. Friends, in 2019, the export of textiles and clothing has been severely affected by the global situation where the US is in trade conflict with China, the EU is struggling to deal with Brexit, and the Middle East and other major export market for Indian textile products are troubled by their over-reliance on oil and growing geopolitical tensions. The US has also removed the GSP benefits for India. Supply chains are now sourcing more locally than before, and all these developments are impacting India's textile exports. Further, countries like Bangladesh and Vietnam are fast replacing India in areas that traditionally dominated, like ready-made garments. While challenges are huge, opportunities abound as well. The global situation of the US-China trade conflict has now stretched over a period of 15 months, affecting world trade in multiple ways. It has, on the one hand, disrupted the existing supply chain, leading to greater uncertainties, while it has also opened up some opportunities for India. In the backdrop of these challenges, I would like to thank the government for taking the initiative in recognizing the incidence of state and central tax levies and their impact on the competitiveness of export goods. The announcement of the new scheme of the remission of duties or taxes on export products, which is called ROTTEP, is commendable as it has sent a positive signal to the exporting community. It is also WTO compatible, which will benefit India in the long run. We urge the government to operationalize this scheme at the earliest by including all segments of the textile value chain in its coverage, so that competitiveness of the exporters is enhanced and brought on par with other supplying countries in South and Southeast Asia. It would also ensure that the true value of goods are exported and not along with embedded taxes. The government has also recognized the needs of the textile industry across the value chain and has started the process of revising the drawback rates. We hope to receive the revised rates shortly. Madam, I would personally like, and on behalf of TEXPROCIL and the textile industry, like to thank you for your efforts to get the Gazette notification announcing ROSCTL for garments and made-ups, which we received yesterday. This has only been possible thanks to the untiring efforts of our textile minister, and it has come as a big relief to the sector. Madam, we are fully aware of the personal efforts being taken by you and the officials of the Ministry of Textiles to resolve various pending issues. I would nevertheless like to take this opportunity to highlight some of them with your kind permission. It is important, Madam, to reconsider or to consider the cotton textile sector as a value chain in continuum. Given this context, any attempt to selectively grant incentives to certain segments of the value chain leads to unintended distortions and consequences. A case in point is the systematic exclusion of cotton yarn from the package of incentives since 2014. It is a matter of concern, Madam, that there is a prevailing view that yarn is a raw material and not a value-added product. For instance, when compared to raw cotton, cotton yarn has a value addition of over 75%, and this takes place all in India. Further, only about 27% of the country's cotton yarn is exported. It's a small portion, and therefore any apprehension that there will be a shortage of yarn for the domestic industry and for exporters in other textile sectors producing value-added products like fabrics is grossly misplaced. Cotton yarn also bears the same incidence of state and central levies as in the case of made-ups and garments. The product also faces high import duties in leading export markets. Therefore, Madam, our request is that all segments of the textile industry should be covered under the new ROTTEP scheme when it is announced. We also request for a 3% interest equalization scheme to be continued for all sectors of the textile industry. The ROTTEP scheme, when it is formulated and if it covers the entire textile value chain, there will be a great help to the industry. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank and recognize the efforts made by the Minister to bring down the hank yarn obligation. This has been an effort which has happened after many decades, and I'm sure the industry will want and the Minister will understand that there is a further possibility of reduction in this. With the GST regime now more or less stabilized, many exporters continue to face delays in refund of GST on exports. In addition, the inverted duty structure faced by the textile sector also needs to be addressed. Many exporters have been placed in the risky category due to reported misuse of the input tax credit used for payment of IGST on exports. While all steps should be taken to stop misuse of ITC, under GST, it also needs to be ensured that the genuine exporters who constitute the bulk of the exports community are not put to any difficulty and inconvenience. Friends, our Honourable Minister has been making all efforts to ensure the issues facing the sector are addressed at the earliest, and she has personally taken up these matters with various other concerned ministries. I once again would like to thank her for her personal intervention in matters relating to the textile industry and for working for the growth of the industry. We are deeply honoured to have you today, Madam, in our midst to distribute the awards, and your presence will be a source of motivation and encouragement to all of us. Under your dynamic leadership, we look forward to achieving greater heights in this sector. Thank you.
We all know that the SME sector is growing by the minute. And to enable this growth to a large extent, we have an entity in India which promotes them by financing them to a great extent. SBI, Bharat ka sabse bada bank. Yes, and from SBI, please help me in welcoming on stage Shri S. Kalyan Ram, GM, SME, State Bank of India, SME Business Unit, to address us.
Honorable and respected Union Minister of Textiles and Women and Child Development, Government of India, Madam Smriti Zubin Irani ji, Chairman TEXPROCIL Dr. K.V. Srinivasan, Mr. Manoj Kumar Patodia, Vice Chairman TEXPROCIL, and Dr. Siddharth Rajgopal, ED, and all the dignitaries and members of the Textile Exporters Fraternity. It's indeed a great pleasure and privilege for the opportunity to be present amidst all of you, the illustrious gathering, and the dignitaries on the dais. State Bank of India heartily welcomes you, and all our compliments go to all the award winners under various categories for the stupendous achievement and contribution made by each one of you to the textile exports in the last financial year, despite the many challenges that you might have faced. State Bank of India also has immense pleasure in associating ourselves with today's award ceremony organized by the TEXPROCIL, the apex body which promotes textile exports. As we all know, India's textile industry is one of the oldest, dating 7 centuries back, and from a commoditized business, all of you have moved up the value chain significantly. The contribution by way of employment generation, GDP, and exports are immense and significant. The sector has made significant strides in moving across the value chain by undertaking periodic expansion and modernization. Largely, the support and contribution of the Textile Upgradation Fund scheme, I am sure, has been immense and helpful and timely. Globally, India is one of the largest exporters in textile apparel. The domestic, I wouldn't delve into the numbers, all of you know the numbers better than me, and I would like to place on record the contribution by each one of you. Coming to SBI, we have a legacy of over 200 years, long parentage, and SBI is truly your own multinational public sector banking and financial services monolith, serving its vast population across the length and breadth. State Bank of India takes pride in empowering SME borrowers and exporters, and has made available a slew of products and services across the country at very competitive rates to enable them to achieve the objectives of growth and value creation. The fundamental 5 principles of our bank, of our value systems, are service, transparency, ethics, politeness, and sustainability. We have a vast network of over 20,000 plus domestic branches, 208 foreign offices located in 36 countries across all time zones. State Bank of India has been a pioneer and market leader in catering to the specialized financing requirement, starting much before the early 1960s to the then SSIs and now the SMEs in a significant manner. With over 10 lakh customers, the MSME segment is very important to us, close to our heart, considering its role in the overall economic development. We therefore offer a bouquet of products, best rates, and customized financial products. Understanding the need to leverage technology and to extend service, SBI has broad-based its digital base in the recent years. The recent addition, namely YONO Business, apart from the YONO Personal, is an internet-based integrated banking platform offering corporate internet banking solutions, e-trade and e-forex solutions, which is a one-stop solution for all the corporates. The bank also plays a pivotal role in making the Government of India's digital initiative a true reality. SMEs, as we all know, are the backbone across worldwide, and the role of the contribution to India is nothing less. And I am sure with the thrust laid by the government to achieve the US $5 trillion economy, your contribution will be much more momentous and significant in the years to come. Our bank's approach in supporting SMEs is constantly evolving based on providing customer convenience, simplifying the process, and offering tech-based digital offerings for ease of doing business. We have a diversified portfolio of products catering to a wide variety of MSME customers, which includes working capital, term loans, bill discounting, letters of credit, bank guarantees, standby letters of credit, etc. In addition, there are specific products that are available to the exporters in the form of pre- and post-shipment finance, forex services, advisory services, hedging limits, and movement of exchange rates to enable the exporters to minimize the forex risk. In addition, the bank fully absorbs a ECGC premium for post-shipment finance, as well as premium for pre-shipment is absorbed for certain category of borrowers. Our SME business model is based on 365 specialized SME branches manned by 1,756 relationship management concept located at all major business centers. In addition, we also have 833 MSME branches across the country. So truly we are there everywhere, wherever you are, and I request you to unleash the true potential of your export business with us. I am sure many of you will be banking with us, and whoever is not, request that you may also consider approaching any of our branches across, and we are available at your beck and call. We also draw your attention to the advent of digital lending, which has great potential to take SME's growth trajectory to the next higher level, and the quantum of digital lending is projected to increase exponentially in the next few years. Thank you very much. We are also successfully coming up with many more digital offerings to simplify our process, bring in more transparency, minimize the paperwork, and ease of doing business the way the millennials and the young India requires and desires. In case any of you have any queries, we are free, our counter is available, and we will be only very glad to offer any clarifications. We also look forward to serving all of you for your banking requirements. We are once again thankful to TEXPROCIL for the opportunity given to us. Thank you.
And request Dr. Srinivasan to present Sri Kalyan Ram with a memento. And now, the moment of truth. The Export Awards, the sole reason that we have gathered here today. Exports of cotton textiles under the purview of the Council during the last fiscal year, 2018-2019, has reached $12.4 billion. So let's put our hands together for the Council and the exporters who have made this happen. And to accolade and award our heroes of export today, may I request Honorable Smriti Irani to present. To begin with, in the category of highest global exports, the Platinum Trophy goes to Wellspun Global Brands Limited. The export turnover has been 455,992 crores. Person receiving the award is Manmohan Chauhan, VP Export Sales and Marketing, and Mr. Altaf Jivani, Global CFO. I request all award winners to climb from one side and get down from the other side. Highest global exports. Gold Trophy. Awarded to Trident Limited. Export turnover of 2,786.53 crores. And receiving the award is Mr. Sunil Shah. आज इनके योगदान से, इनके महत्वपूर्ण योगदान से एक्सपोर्ट इंडस्ट्री, टेक्सटाइल एक्सपोर्ट बहुत आगे बढ़े हैं। प्लीज प्रयास किया। Highest global exports, Silver Trophy goes to Vardhaman Textiles Limited, group companies. 2126 crore is their turnover, and receiving the award is Mr. Sudhir Sharma. Private Limited. Receiving the award is Mr. Nikunj Bakria, Managing Director. Highest employment generation in MSME unit, gold trophy goes to Gupta International. Unfortunately, they're not here today. They are overseas. We'll move on to the next. Highest employment generation overall gold trophy goes to BVM of Syntex Industries Limited. Mr. Bharat Bhushan Sharma, CEO and Executive Director, will be receiving the award. This one deserves a special mention. Highest women employment generation. The gold trophy goes to Loyal Textiles. Special achievement in the subcategory of made-ups. The gold trophy goes to Industries Limited. Receiving the award is Mr. Anil Jain, Executive Chairman. Receiving the award is Mr. Ujjwal Lahoti and Mr. Umesh Lahoti. Special achievement in yarn. The gold trophy goes to Saklesh Textiles and Industries Limited. Receiving the award is Mr. Dheeraj Banka, Senior Vice President, Exports. Turnover has been 1528.35 crores. Receiving the award is Mr. K.K. Lalpuria, Executive Director and CEO, and Mr. Shreyas Joshi, President, Home Textile. Limited. Category above rupees 250 crores, made-ups, other cotton made-ups. The gold, we will provide you lots of food. Please put your hands together.
Thank you.
It's a very happy occasion. In the same category of fabrics, bleached, dyed, yarn dyed and printed, the gold. In the same category, the silver trophy goes to Gulab Das and Company, group companies. and Textiles Limited, two companies. Receiving the award is Mr. Umang Patoria, Managing Director. Their turnover was 138.41 crores. And I would also like to announce that the time for silver trophy after adjustment to be implemented to the marks. May I call on stage to receive the silver trophy. In the category 2 of subcategory yarn and processed yarn, the gold trophy is presented to Satlish for Promise. In the same category 2 with yarn and processed. Now we move to category 1 between rupees 5 crore and rupees 75 crores. We start with the subcategory made-ups, product being bed linen, bed sheets and quilts. The gold plaque goes to Paramount Textile Mills Private Limited. Receiving is Mr. P. Kondala Raju, Chief Financial Officer. Their turnover has been 44.40 crores. To BKS Textiles Private Limited. और यहाँ तो बहुत जोर से तालियां बजनी चाहिए क्योंकि स्टेज पे दो लेडीज आ रही हैं, मिसेस सुधा आनंद, 0.55 crores. In the same subcategory of made-ups, product being terry towel, the gold plaque is presented to Intermarket India Private Limited. Receiving the award is Mr. Srinidhi Nadgoda, Vice. And the silver plaque in the same category is presented to Alongwith Industries Limited. Mr. Fabrics, product bleached, dyed, yarn dyed and printed. The gold plaque is presented. Category 1, fabrics, bleached, dyed, yarn dyed, printed. The silver plaque is presented to Premier Spinning and Weaving Mills Private The category of subcategory fabrics, product denim, the silver plaque. Subcategory fabrics, other fabrics including embroidered fabrics, laces and fabrics, other fabrics included embroidered fabrics, laces, etc. The silver plaque goes to subcategory fabrics. And product grey, the gold plaque goes to Anita Weaving Mill Private Limited. Mr. Fabrics, grey, silver plaque goes to Ken Enterprises. In the subcategory of yarn, counts 50. category, the silver plaque is presented to Indocount Industries Limited. Receiving the award is Mr. R. N. Gupta. हमारे बुजुर्ग भी हैं जो बागडोर संभाले हुए हैं. The veterans of the industry. In the subcategory of yarn, counts 51S and above product. The gold plaque is presented to Lahoti. Category, silver plaque is presented to Nitin Spinners Limited, receiving the award. The next category. And in the same category, the silver plaque is presented to Milind Malvade, VP Marketing. Their turnover has been 58.41 crores. Thank you. Can we have a huge round of applause for our winners? Thank you, dignitaries. Please take your seats. हम इस मकाम तक पहुंच पाए हैं क्योंकि हमारे बीच एक बहुत ही डायनामिक लीडर हैं जिनके नेतृत्व में हम बहुत आगे बढ़े हैं और मैं उनसे नम्र विनती करूंगी कि वो यहाँ आए और मंच पे हमें एड्रेस करें. प्लीज वेलकम ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर श्रीमती.
As I lit the lamp today with Mr. Srinivas, it was a manifestation of our commitment in the government to work hand in hand with the industry. For in your growth lies the growth of India. While we lit the lamp, we were blessed to have the presence of Dalmia ji, Patodia ji, Kotak Sahab, and we urged them to light a wick, for it is leaders like these who have been the trailblazers in the cotton industry. But being the quick thinker that the TEXPROCIL chairperson is known to be, he quickly asked the banker that come and light the lamp as well. For we know, irrespective of the policies that I pronounce, irrespective of the legendary expertise, experience that is in this August hall today, ultimately we do depend on the good old Indian banker to help us energize our sector. And that is why, while in thank you speeches, it would be incumbent upon TEXPROCIL to thank SBI for supporting this initiative. I, as the Minister as well, would like to extend my grateful thanks with the hope that this is not a one-off engagement with the industry, and the banking industry supports the industry's desire to reach greater heights. Many people were called on stage today, 43 companies to be precise. And one incident gave me a different perspective of the kind of people we have in this audience today. When the name of Umang Patodia was called out, I thought Umang ji would gingerly come up on stage, take his award and leave. But before he could get to the trophy, Patodia Senior was right there, reminding him कि ये पारितोषिक ये तमगा सिर्फ तुम्हारा नहीं है, इसके लिए मैंने भी मेहनत की है. And it is not very often that I see Lahoti ji get very, very animated. The only time I saw him animated on his chair, literally ready to fly, was when Aditya came on stage to take his trophy. And I told Aditya, hold still. Aditya turned to this cameraman and I said, not him, तुम्हारे पापा photo ले रहे हैं. And today I honor the commitment of generations in this industry, of not only industry leaders but workers and specialists who have made India proud through their contribution. Many a times there's an expectation that when the industry body chairperson speaks, minister is obligated to either differ or explain. I've had the proud privilege of serving the ministry and serving the industry for over 3 years now. And it is not, in fact, a tradition that I've had with TEXPROCIL. When TEXPROCIL proposes something and I dispose of it, in fact, I join voice with you today, Srinivasanji, on the kind of proposals and the kind of challenges that you have enunciated on this stage. One of the biggest issues before us that the industry seeks solution for is cotton procurement by CCI, and to ensure that the cotton is procured and sold to the industry at competitive prices. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the CMD leading CCI is very much in the audience. And for her, it's an indication when the industry and the ministry join causes to ensure that we find a speedy resolution to this challenge. I can say on behalf of Cotton CCI that Ms. Irani, who is here, will ensure that cotton once procured does not keep getting stored while prices heighten across the country, thereby debilitating especially the growth prospects of the MSME segment in the cotton industry. I've had Patodia ji from day one pursue only one agenda. He said, hang kyan obligation ka kuch kijiye. He first met me 3.5 years ago in Shimla. Honestly, he had gone for a personal trip with his wife, who hoped that he would leave his industry concerns behind in Mumbai. Little did Mrs. Patodia know that he would find the minister in Shimla. And he said to me when he first met me, कि क्या आप हैं क्या obligation कम कर सकती हैं? I made no false promise, but I'm proud that a challenge that was before the industry for 2 decades and more, a solution for the same was found under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, thereby easing partially the challenges that you faced over 2 decades. As I stand before Mr. Patodia and this august audience today and resonate again the voice of Srinivasji, I can assure you that we are actively pursuing reducing hand-gown obligation even more. I am glad that the TEXPROCIL chairperson today was honest in his delivery of the message. That yes, the industry would ensure and want to see that embedded taxes across the value chain no longer burden the industry. I join voice with you on that as well. What I am applauding you for, Mr. Srinivas, is the fact that you stood here trying to clear the fear-mongering that people within our segment speak, that if support is given to cotton yarn, then you will see manufacturing costs spike up in the entire value chain. My submission to you is only this. घर के झगड़े घर में आप सुलझा लें टेक्सप्रोसिल के माध्यम से, तो मंत्रालय के लिए सहूलियत हो. Yes, we are actively pursuing with the Ministry of Finance the inverted duty challenge. Yes, we are cognizant of other opportunities that are before us. But the opportunity today that I seek to celebrate is the CDRA movement, which has been led by the industry. As knitting spinners came on stage this evening to take their trophy, everybody on stage was gloating that they are the beneficiaries of the CDRM movement. As a commitment from the ministry, I will here announce that the forthcoming mission for cotton will definitely take the learnings from the success of the CDRM movement, which has till now approximately benefited close to, I think, 1 lakh farmers? 1,70,000 farmers. I appreciate the fact that the industry made the farmer a part of its growth journey. Similarly, my grateful thanks to TEXPROCIL for singling out and awarding those MSMEs, those companies that have given gainful employment to our citizens, especially women. And as I come to a close of my observations today, there has been a consistent plea from me that for our industry to quadruple our prospects, it is essential that we stand shoulder to shoulder with small firms that can, with the help of TEXPROCIL, become mid-size. Srinivasji, my plea to you is this. As you complete this year, can we, through the intervention of TEXPROCIL, particularly highlight those small firms that were made mid-size because of your support? The additional support that I hope to extend to the industry is this. For years, the industry spoke about the need to ensure that picking of cotton is not contaminated. We have spoken at length about government's participation in the same. I am here confirming that between the CCI, TEXPROCIL and the Skills Development Ministry, we can actively pursue skilling of farmers for mechanized picking. I look forward to a proposal from TEXPROCIL and CCI with regards to the same. Similarly, I think our small firms can benefit if we extend to them skill sets about segregation and grading of cotton. And I am hopeful even in this endeavor, TEXPROCIL and CCI can partner with the Ministry of Skill Development, supported actively by the Ministry of Textile. Once again, 43 companies today were celebrated for their efforts, celebrated for their pursuit of excellence, celebrated for their leadership skills, which ensured that not only the balance sheet got rich, but also your employees. My congratulations to all of you and my grateful thanks for TEXPROCIL for leading from the front. Thank you.
It's a matter of proud privilege for me to propose a vote of thanks this evening on the occasion of the annual Export Awards Function instituted by TEXPROCIL. I am extremely grateful to our Honorable Minister, Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani ji, for sparing a valuable time to be present with us today as the chief guest and to distribute the TEXPROCIL Awards for the year 2018-19. As the chairman mentioned in his speech, the Honorable Textile Minister has shown exceptional dynamism in addressing the challenges faced by the sector and taking personal initiatives to coordinate and pursue the concerned ministries to resolve the issues facing the textile industry. In fact, she has been instrumental in protecting the ROSTCL rates for made-up and garments, which along with the duty drawback rates enable us to compete with our neighboring countries in EU on an equal footing. Thank you, ma'am, for that. Madam, we are hopeful that some of the other issues that impact our competitiveness, like pricing of cotton and the hank-on obligation, are already engaging the Honourable Minister's attention, and we hope to find amicable solutions. Ma'am, regarding the MSME for the skill development, cotton CDRA, we will from TEXPROCIL give you a complete note, and we will come with a solution what we have, since CDRA will give you, ma'am.